E te ariki, kei te mihi ki a koe me te whare o te heuheu. E ngā hapu, e ngā whānau, ka nui te mihi ki a koutou katoa. My kōrero today will highlight the features of two mechanisms of our claim settlement. These are Te Kopua ka napanapa and Te Piringa. The details of these mechanisms are provided in the annual report. Te Kopua ka napanapa and Te Piringa have been constructed from the kaupapa that have inspired our aspirations for settlement and for our future. These kaupapa are Ngā Paue Toru and Te Kapua Whakapipi. Te Kopua ka napanapa and Te Piringa are mechanisms that have been designed to deliver the intent of these kaupapa. Te Kopua ka napanapa has two meanings within Ngāti Tūwharetoa. Traditionally, it means the shimmering womb of Te Ika a Maui. This is explained within the annual report. Te Kopua ka napanapa is also the name of the entity established in our claims settlement. It is made up of the Taupo District Council, the Waikato Regional Council, and Te Kotahitanga o Ngāti Tūwharetoa. In this 8-member committee, Te Kotahitanga holds 50% representation. Te Kopua ka napanapa is endowed with many important functions. Its principal goal is to empower Ngāti Tūwharetoa to exercise mana Whakahaere and Kaitiakitanga, especially in determining outcomes for land use and natural resource management. Te Kopua ka napanapa is charged with the responsibility to prepare and approve the high-level management plan for the Taupo catchment. This plan is called Te Kaupapa Kaitiaki. It is a key instrument for including our aspirations and transforming outcomes within our rohe. An important fact about Te Kaupapa Kaitiaki is that it has a strong legal status. This is something that the RMA failed to bestow on iwi management plans, which Ngāti Tūwharetoa relied heavily upon to realise its vision and aspirations over the past 20 or 30 years. This legal position means that local authorities, like the Taupo District Council and Waikato Regional Council, must recognise and provide for the vision, objectives, desired outcomes and values of Te Kaupapa Kaitiaki each time they prepare or review or vary an RMA planning document. Also, local authorities must have particular regard to Te Kaupapa Kaitiaki when preparing or approving their long-term or annual plans. It is important to note that these plans determine future expenditure and project priorities for these local authorities. And when considering resource consents that constantly frustrate us with their failure to recognise tikanga and hapu values, the Environmental Protection Authority must have particular regard to Te Kaupapa Kaitiaki in approving these consents. Te Kaupapa Kaitiaki is currently under preparation. It has been subject to its first round of consultation, and approval of this document is planned for the second half of 2022. An extensive consultation process is intended for ngā hapu o Ngāti Tūwharetoa. Currently, the Taupo District Plan is under review. Ngāti Tūwharetoa kaupapa will guide the content and preparation of this district plan. The review process this time is being put under huge pressure because major reforms of the resource and freshwater management legislation and policy are being undertaken. These undertakings by the Crown include reform of the Resource Management Act itself, Three Waters Management, and Mana o Te Wai. Te Piringa is a partnership that must recognise and provide for Ngāti Tūwharetoa mana Whakahaere, tino rangatiratanga and Kaitiakitanga in the governance and management of Te Korowai Kaitiaki. This term refers to the land managed by DOC within the rohe of Ngāti Tūwharetoa. Te Piringa supports DOC's statutory commitment to give effect to the principles of Te Tiriti or Waitangi. Under Te Piringa, Ngāti Tūwharetoa will achieve meaningful input into policy, planning and decision-making. A key enabler for this is the co-authorship and co-design by Ngāti Tūwharetoa of the Tongariro Taupō Conservation Management Strategy. This is the principal governance document for all DOC-managed whenua and Te Korowai Kaitiaki. Te Piringa also embraces a commitment to enable hapu to build capacity, whakapikitanga and capability, whakapakiritanga. During the settlement negotiations and Te Kapua Whakapipi Hui, the Western Bay's hapu signalled their urgent concerns to protect their ancestral whenua and taonga located on whenua managed by DOC. This request resulted in the formation of the Western Bay Forum as part of the settlement. Now known as Te Hauauru Forum, it comprises 10 hapu of the Western Bays. The hapu can enter a management agreement with the Director General of Conservation over DOC-managed whenua in the Western Bays area. The Whakaipo Bay project is underway. It reflects the joint cooperation of DOC and the hapu of Te Kapo Te Rangita. A plan is being developed by both parties to realise exciting outcomes for Te Kapo Te Rangita and the wider community. This take is the primary joint focus of the Crown and Ngāti Tūwharetoa under Te Piringa. Unfortunately, history demonstrates that Ngāti Tūwharetoa has been almost completely sidelined from actively exercising a protection role for New Zealand's indigenous biodiversity. This position is anomalous and unacceptable given the customary right of Ngāti Tūwharetoa as kaitiaki of the natural taonga and the unprecedented subjugation of Ngāti Tūwharetoa-owned land for biodiversity protection. In late 2019, Te Kotahitanga and Hapu had their first post-settlement opportunity to consider the biodiversity protection strategy of the Crown. The Hui was convened by DOC and the Ministry for the Environment. Some key issues arising from this hui. The first is that Te Kotahitanga is the mandated iwi authority for Ngāti Tūwharetoa under the trust deed. The Ngāti Tūwharetoa hapu are kaitiaki at place of indigenous biodiversity within our rohe, and they have an inherent right to uphold kawa, tikanga and mātauranga as affirmed under Te Tiriti or Waitangi. The Crown must honour its obligations under Te Tiriti or Waitangi. The Crown must protect and promote our settlement mechanisms, Te Kupuaka Napanapa and Te Piringa, especially when preparing and approving statutes and policy directions, including its proposed National Policy Statement on Indigenous Biodiversity. These and several other directions were reiterated in subsequent engagements with the Crown in 2020. Your endorsement of the position outlined above and detailed within the annual report will be greatly appreciated. Nō reira, ka nui te mihi ki a koutou katoa.